We are live. Hello. This is Armchair Updates with with Tony and with me, and we are going to do a quick hit, kind of as it stands right now, playoff snapshot. Just break down some future implications on the games ahead. We are later this week probably going to do a, last week breakdown, week look ahead like we usually do. But since we didn't do anything last week, we wanted to get on and do a quick hit. Let's look at what happened with playoff implications this last week, what could happen going forward. And with that mouthful said, Tony, how are you? And I know you got a small child there right off to the side of the screen. How are you guys doing?
Good. And due to the responsibility and too much drinking last time, it's Bush NA.
Always drink responsibly.
Yes. Well, I mean, I drank all that Jack last time, so.
I still can't believe it either. It's like, how
quietly,
did that happen? It's like I thought it was just a tumbler of I don't know. I guess I don't know what I thought was in there, but because I knew you had the Jack, I guess I just you're good at it, man. Yeah,
just kept refilling. Well, we were kind of talking backstage, and we've talked in the Discord. There's a real possibility that the Central has the 1, the 4, and the 5 seed.
This is true. Mark is coming on strong. He did lose this last week, unfortunately, but he has found himself in a position to still be fighting for the playoffs going into week 13, which is great. Not
this
week.
What
we maybe thinking about him early on.
This week's a big game for him. He plays Game of Jones. If he gets a win there, that puts him in a very, very good position going into the last week playing Jeff.
Well, and what he really needs, he doesn't even need to beat Game of Jones. He just needs to put up big points.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, if he loses,
I mean,
he can't lose and have like a 60-point week.
Yeah, if he loses and still puts up $130 or whatever, Mark can have a quote unquote good loss this week, as long as he puts up points. Ideally he would stomp Game of Jones and make them look slightly worse, which is one, and two, score a lot of points in the process. Now, Mark wants to score points. That is his road to the playoffs, is putting up numbers these last 2 weeks. So he can lose and still have a good week. And Mark knows this already. He said it before. Like, I'm not competing against so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm just competing against the guys, in points. It's not about wins for him. It's about getting there. And then once he gets there, he does have a team that you don't really want to face. So anybody can do it once they get there,
And he doesn't want to either. I think if he were to choose, he'd rather lose these next two and score 130.
Yeah.
Than win the next
playoffs.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make the playoffs that way, because as the 6th seed, he would play whoever wins in the East.
Well, if they do all come out of this division, you said they would be the 1, 4, and 5, correct?
If the records fall right. So what it is Game of Jones and Run, Sam, they're either the 1 or the 4. They're pretty much locked in there. They've mathematically sealed their fate there. Yeah. Whoever wins, with being 10-2. I think you have pretty much at worst got yourself a 5. Because if you go 8-6, and then one of me and Don could go 8-6, and if one of us outscores you, then that would drop you to the 5.
This is true. Yeah. Damn. I don't want that.
So there's not, the 2, obviously, whoever wins our division is the 2. because we're not going to
So
outscore.
am I locked up? Are Sam, the Jones boys, and me, are we locked right now? Are we locked in playoff spots? Because when you do it on tracks, when you go to playoffs, it doesn't show anybody. It just shows like the seed.
The reason why is because I put it as manual set for the playoff. So it's probably blank or whatever. I haven't looked, but
I just know, like, you know, like Yahoo, if you click on playoffs, it'll show you as of right now who would be in, you know, but it doesn't show you. You know, you can't manipulate it. It just shows you if the season ended today, right now, who would be in and what spot they would be in. I didn't know if tracks ever did that. I don't do a lot of football on tracks, but they don't. At least for this league, they don't show you who would be there. Like if I go to playoffs right now, here, it's just empty.
Yeah. It doesn't show you the project. I know what you're saying because it like you.
Yeah, it doesn't show you project. Like I want to know who. I want to see that little asterisk, you know, like you would see in the newspaper next to their name. Nobody has that. So
no,
it's
because I haven't set up how the. Well, it's because I haven't set up how the playoffs are going to be. So to answer your question, the nightmare scenario for you would be you lose both. I win out. I score more points than you, and Don scores more points than you, and then you would be frozen out. That would be how you get out.
I could see that happening. I could see it happening.
Is I have to win out. I play you this week, and I play Don next week. So we both can't go 2-0.
I got a slight point edge over you, but not insurmountable. By any means.
And especially since we play each other, I'm going to have to actually outscore you one of the weeks.
Yes.
You know,
so it's like so the Jones boys and Sam are definitely in. Just by virtue of records, I think. Even if they were to both lose,
they're both in.
For them is I tie them record wise, and I'm the only team that can tie them record wise.
Yes,
so they're both in.
It take a lot for you to
they'd both
overcome.
have to lose out, and I'd have to win. Yeah. So probably not going to happen. But they're both in. I am,
and especially
probably
they both
in.
played each other last week.
Okay, so they're not both going to lose out. Yeah. I am probably in at 8-4 right now, a 2-game lead in the division, and I've got points over you. And I'm about 22 back of Don. So it would take that nightmare scenario, and it really would have to hit pretty exact. It'd have to be the old exacta in horse racing lingo.
It would,
for me to get bounced from the playoffs. And then the rest of the way, man, it's pretty fucking open, it looks like. It still looks really, really open.
You know, and I got, we talk about getting lucky. We were talking about, teams getting lucky in the pre-pod, and I was like, look at the schedule for the last week. Right now, if Sam and Game of Jones either both win or both lose this week, that last week will decide who gets the 1 and who gets the 4. Because they play each other the last week. Okay? Well, right now, Don and I are tied. If Don and I both, win and lose this week, whatever, the same result, we play each other the last week as well. So I played Don the last week, and Sam and Game of Jones play each other. So, I mean, there could be a lot of movement still going into last week.
Yes, there really could be. Holy cow. Man, poor Cal, man. Poor Cal. He's lost 4 in a row. Him and Don combined have lost 7 straight together, however you want to. Don's lost 3 in a row. Cal's lost 4 in a row. Boy, something in the water in Western Illinois.
Nauvoo.
Yeah. Too much college football, huh?
I looked at the, and I'm catching Don at the right time too, because Jonathan Taylor's on bye in week 14.
Oh.
And Jalen Hurts is on bye as well. So 2 of his top performers that have carried him, in Hurts and Taylor, I catch them when he has both of them on bye.
Man. Oh, yeah, man. I kind of didn't even see that Dwight's loss this week was to Harry, and it was by like 2.5 points.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. So that really hurts. Because if Dwight wins and he's 6-6 there with 4 other teams that are 6-6, he's got more points than Vince. Mm-hmm. He could conceivably get up there with you, if you had a bad week and Dwight had a good week. But man, that loss knocks him down to 5-7. It makes that division for the top of that division all the more like tight. That was a huge slim loss to a 2-9 team by Dwight. That's rough, man.
Yeah, and then we've been talking the whole year about how Cal was going to be, should have been, or at the time was going to be the last playoff spot. He could conceivably finish 12th.
Yeah, I suppose he could.
If he loses out and Harry wins one more game.
I lost by half a point to Vince the week before. Man, we didn't do the pie. I lost by half a point to Vince. Shit. Man, yeah. What's really the only teams that are definitely out of it
10, 11, and 12
are 10, 11, and 12. Yeah, even my dad, as you said before we started, even he is still in it with the win this week and the Dwight loss. And man, what it would have been great for him if I could have beat Vince the week before. That would have been really nice for him.
And he gets Harry the last 3
teams. Oh boy, that's pretty exciting to be going into week 13, and there's still 9 of 12 teams
that could still be in it. Are
still potentially in the playoffs. Yeah, that's fun.
And none of them are like I was telling you, my scenario to get in is I have to win out. And that's pretty, and I think, I have to win out, and Mark has to lose 1. But Mark gets, Game of Jones this week and Jeff next week.
Well, Mark is 1-3 within the division, so the matchup against Game of Jones is going to be tough.
They're playing for a 1 seed
in the division.
They're playing for a 1 seed.
There's one team in the league that is undefeated in divisional play, and that is Game of Jones.
Yep.
Nobody else. We got some 3-1s, but nobody is 4-0 within their division right now, except Squib and Josh. So they've played the division well. Sam does have them outscored by 200 points, but Sam's 3-1 in the division. They are 4-0.
Yeah, outside, you're pretty much locked into, or those two are locked in to 1 or 4.
Those two are locked, and a lot of really bad things would have to happen for me to not get a spot right now.
Correct. And then outside of that, 4 through 9 are fighting for 3 spots.
Wow, yeah. So this is a huge week. It's a huge week. So yeah, later this week when we do the week 13 preview, we'll carry a lot of weight this week. It feels like we've been saying that for the last couple weeks, that we've done these. And a lot of things have shuffled around. A lot of teams that we thought were going to maybe be out of it, like Garoppolo's, are still in it. He lost 1, but he came back and won 1. So, he is still fighting for it. A lot of these guys are still alive. Almost everybody. Just Harry, Jeff, who, took an active role in not going for a playoff spot. He made some deals that were obviously more geared towards next year. And Cal, who...
Well, hold on. Cal is not out of it.
I guess with 1,500 points, technically he's not, right?
Go to click on the points for.
Yeah, he's right there in points for.
Yeah, because I mean, you can cross off you can cross off. He's really what
He's competing
50s,
with Mark.
60s. Yeah, well, Mark and Don.
Yeah, Mark and Don. Yeah. So conceivably, I mean, he's got some ground to make up, especially on Don. But
if Don wins the next two and locks up that second best record spot, then Cal's going against Mark.
Wow. Oh, that's
really
fascinating. Yeah. He's not that far out of it. Yeah, he still wants to come out and have good weeks. Oh, he's got a big bye this week. He's got a big bye this week. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
that's three tough guys, especially when Chuba is gonna come back and start. But he's gonna immediately hit bye. He gets no Devontae. He gets no Nick Chubb. What does the running back? Oh God, I'm gonna get the hiccups. What does the running back look like? It's Ty Montgomery. It's Sony Michel. It's not good.
Boston Scott.
Oh, Cal. You know what Cal sounds like he needs?
A running back.
Alexander Madison.
Hey.
Cal needs Alexander Madison or Cordell Patterson or Latavius Murray. Cal, come and see me, buddy. We made a deal in the baseball league. You're in the baseball league now. We made a deal in the baseball league. Come, let's make a football deal too, man. I got running backs. Suddenly, I find myself with an extra running back in Latavius or Alexander Madison. So, I'd play him if he starts.
I thought I saw something yesterday that he's not. It's not even for sure Dalvin's out this week.
Man, I cannot imagine. I have never seen a shoulder injury that required a cart to get off the field. It was so bad he couldn't walk. I cannot imagine the Vikings are stupid enough to have him take full contact hits a week later. I just cannot imagine. So at the very least, Alexander Madison is a tremendous bye-week replacement for somebody or a great start this week. He's always a great start when he starts. I cannot imagine they let Dalvin Cook play. I just can't imagine. But you've watched a lot of college. Have you ever seen a shoulder injury that the guy needed a cart? I've never seen it. I've never seen it. So I figure it had to really hurt or really be bad.
It's not like we're talking a model of health.
I know, yeah. He's also been hurt before. Lower body, upper body, he's been hurt. Are the Vikings that crazy that they're going to look at that film and say, yeah, man, we think you could probably go out there and take full contact, game speed hits.
Full workload too.
And this is we mentioned it weeks ago. This is the same coaching regime or whatever, that if the guy, like, it's never happened where the guy didn't practice on Friday, but he played on Sunday. Like, they're already pretty cautious, especially with Dalvin Cook. So I just cannot see him having a full workload Sunday. So Cal, call me up, man. Let's get some, even if it's not Alexander Madison, let's talk. I'm open. If it can help me, I'm open.
To continue this, I had two different O'Doul's Amber. I don't know if you ever. So.
The only thing I really know about O'Doul's is the Mitch Hedberg joke. Is if you drink an O'Doul's, you're not drinking, but if you drink 20 O'Doul's in a half hour, you're a non-alcoholic. Yeah. And then, of course, he launches into the whole alcoholism is the only disease that you can get yelled at for having. Nobody ever says, "Damn it, Tony, you have lupus," but they will say, "Damn it, Tony, you're an alcoholic." Yeah. So nobody will tell you, "Damn it, Tony, you have cancer." Damn it. Yeah. Oh, I miss Mitch Hedberg, man. I miss him so much.
Oh, this is your team. Sorry.
I was just looking at my own team just to trade. Yeah, just to look at trades with Cal. I get DJ Moore on the bye. I do get Cam Newton, which you want to talk about bad managing. If you want to see an all-time bad managing move, and it didn't cost me the win, so it's not going to be magnified. I know we weren't going to talk too much about the past week, but since we're looking at it, I sat Aaron Rodgers who has been playing out of his mind. I mean, he just had 33. He put up 26.28. I sat him for Cam Newton, who I'm surprised he even put up 6 points. But he's coming off of 26 and looking good again. I thought maybe, just maybe, Rodgers has the toe thing going on. He's doing the thing where he takes off his fucking shoe and shows people his broken toe, like, oh, it must be bad. But then right before the game started, I was watching. It was like, oh, he got an injection. He can only feel 9 of them. It's not going to hamper him at all. And then he goes out and has a good game. So yeah, I really, really felt stupid, and I was hoping.
Hey, you want to change your screen real quick?
Oh, it's Discord.
When it was the executive. It's the executive committee too.
Why is it?
I just want to let you know. Sorry.
Yeah, but I thought So it says it's sharing a screen, so it should only share. Like I've done that before, and it only shared the window. But yeah, if anybody wants to go back and see, you can see all we do in the executive committee is just talk about. Yeah, what Jeff was talking about Nick Castellanos. Yeah, it's just baseball stuff. It's nothing super cool or secret or anything. But yeah, he's just like, yeah, I've been talking to Steve about Castellanos. But yeah, what
I'm just because we got to kind of look ahead a little, but because if we're going to project these out, like right now, if we hit the show projected, what's yours show you for projected for Fantrax?
For the matchup?
No, standings.
Oh, standings.
Sorry, I should say
show projected. There we go. They do project you to win out.
Yeah, that'd be beating you.
They do.
So if we go off this screen, that would be Sam the 1, you the 2. Dwight would get in as the 3.
Dwight would be a higher seed than the Game of Jones?
Yes, because
that's so bizarre. But that he would
because we did it where
winner, right?
The 3 division winners get the top 3 seed, just like the ABL.
That's amazing.
So Dwight would get the 3, they would get the 4, I would get the 5. And what's point? How close is that points for?
5 points.
So
between Mark and Don.
And Cal is still okay, yeah.
They've got Cal way down there at 1659. They think Cal's going to barely score any points the next 2 weeks.
And they have Harry winning a game.
Yeah, the projections are not being kind to Cal because he like legitimately already has 1,496 points. Projections are predicting him at 1659. So about 150,
75
total
each. Yeah,
next 2 weeks. Yeah, they're not liking Cal, but those buys are going to hurt him if he isn't able to make some move. They are projecting Jeff to go 0-6 in the division, the only team to go winless within the division. That is somewhat interesting. Yeah. Projecting Jeff to lose out and go winless within the division. Yeah, I don't think Track's projections are worth a damn, but it does have.
Well, I think all they do is they say that whatever lineup you have set, so obviously Cal has all. They don't, we'll just put the, they don't do the. Was it RT Sports who sent us the email? Hey, we're setting your line.
Yeah, here's what I don't understand. Trax has you projected to beat me, but me to still outscore you on the season by like 30-something points. So you must not be projected to beat me that badly.
In the matchup preview right now, it says I'm going to beat you by 30.
Damn.
But keep in mind
having DJ Moore empty, yeah.
You have no Aaron Rodgers because you have Cam Newton still starting and he's on bye.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I mean, that's easily fixable.
I'm probably not going to keep it that way. Yeah.
No, yeah. Full disclosure, I'm not going to start Cam Newton on his bye week.
And Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is Rodgers on his bye too?
Yeah, because Cal has Devontae on bye.
Oh wow! So I'm really catching like
I'm starting Tyrod. Yeah, Tyrod. Yeah.
So yeah, I really am catching you at the perfect week.
Yeah, about the best you could. Yeah, the only reason I was able to trade Heineke was because I was at least going to have Tyrod for the double bye coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the playoffs are still very muddy. There's some clarity, still very muddy. The next couple weeks are massive for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And like as we said, like the only two teams who are really out of it are Jeff and Harry.
Yeah.
Mathematics.
Still playing for pride.
Yes.
Football.
Oh, Jeff says, yeah.
Jeff catching some football pod. All right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Moon will definitely
lose out. Probably will go winless in the division as Trax projects. 0-6 within the division. Man, it seems like all these games are going to be meaningful in the last week. Honestly, it does. It's like all of these guys, like Tony was just saying, there's only two teams truly out of it. So every game matters and every point scored matters. It like for Mark and for Don and for Cal, like they're still wanting to put up as high on totals as they can.
The only way that the CMC Jones game would not be meaningful the last week is if Sam wins this week and the Jones boys lose. Because then Sam would get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then Sam would have a 200, however many point lead he has, and a one full game going against them.
Yeah.
So that's the only way that
it's just super. No other divisions are decided. None of the divisions are decided. None of them.
No.
Still
none.
And those last spots for second and points for are still wide open. All that's decided are there's two teams that are almost definitely in, and there's two teams that are definitely out. But we don't know in what manner those top two teams are definitely in. We still don't know.
Correct.
The one is not decided yet.
No. Yeah, the only Jeff said Sam has so many points, Jones won't. Yeah, they won't catch him point-wise.
Yeah, won't catch him in points.
But if Jones wins, all they have to do is win out. If Jones wins the next two, they have the 1 seed because they play Sam last week. So it doesn't matter if all they have to do is win out. If they win out, they're the 1 because one of those wins will be against Sam. So then Sam will have one more loss than them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much
very open.
Yeah. And then they would, well, I guess, how would that, they would play the the winner of the other. I don't know how that works. They'd play you, whoever wins between those two.
Ah, man.
The 2 seed. So you'd get them the first matchup or whoever they.
Yeah, show projected doesn't work for playoffs because you have to manually put it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, seed 1 would get the bye. Seed 2 would get the bye. 5 and 4 play each other. 6 and 3 play each other. And then 1 and 4. And the winners of whatever, between 3 and 6.
Yeah, because the 6 and the 3 is the highest point and the winner of the East. So that's actually who you would get. So actually that's who you would get so Game of Jones and Sam could play each other again in the semifinal.
My God. That's wild.
For a third time. So there's still, and that's why I was saying, that's what I was saying. Like, there's still a lot. I said I'd type up stuff, but there's still so many different scenarios.
It could go a lot of ways. Yeah, it's like trying to figure out the college bowl scenario
Yeah.
at some points. Like anybody could get in. Sub 500 teams can get in, just like in the ABL. I got in with a bad record. I like it though. I like that coming down to the wire last 2 weeks of the season. It's still very much up for a lot of playoff spots are still very up for grabs.
And I think, we talked, we're always going to do that division realignment. I don't think we're ever going to change that the first 3 weeks and the last 3 weeks are all divisional foes.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like it.
Because then that keeps the division still open. Because you could be 2 games out, but if you're always playing division foes the last 3 weeks, you can make up those 2 games.
It really shakes things up
pretty quickly.
Yeah,
and it keeps the rivalries going and stuff like that. We didn't really have many trades or anything lately.
No, not a ton.
Nothing much going on there. And you still have until the Monday night football game ends on week 14. So next week, not
we'll
this
see some
week,
action. I think we will see some. We'll see some last minute action.
Yeah, because that kind of mirror. Because wasn't that how the ABL was? It was the last pitch of the last game of the regular season matchups. I think was kind of how it ended.
Yeah, I don't know if it was last pitch, but it was pretty much. Yeah, it was up until the end of the regular season. Yeah. I don't know how on the nose we were with it, but yeah, something like that. So yeah, there's still time for action. There's still time for teams to make moves. There's still time for teams to really shuffle their playoff chances around. And
maybe this pod will serve like remember Frank's magic number message in the ABL kind of showed you, hey, I still have a chance. Like I can get in the playoff
for me. Showed Dwight. Yeah, Dwight was still fighting there at the end with the Mets.
Like Dwight and them, like Dwight, your dad, Vince, they're all still in the thick of getting a 3 seed.
Even Cal, man. Even Cal. He's 3-9. But if he puts up the points, he's not out of it. He's really not. I mean, it's going to be tough for him. No. He's got three starting players going on bye this week on a week that he needs to put up a big point total. But if you were reading this in the paper, he would not have the eliminated. He wouldn't have the X next to his name. He's not eliminated yet.
So he could go from like the 6th seed to the most balls in the lottery.
Yeah. Yeah. The swing for Cal is maybe the most dramatic, like the potential swing. It's kind of on him what he wants to try to do. Does he want to go out and look for some bye week replacements in an attempt to put up a lot of points in the last 2 weeks and try to fight for that last spot? Or does he see maybe some writing on the wall and say, okay, I need to maybe get what I can from playoff teams for pieces that I find expendable and look forward to next year and, maybe gear up for the draft or whatever it might be. But he's got some decisions to make, and he's got ABL decisions too. So Cal's life right now is a fucking whirlwind of just fantasy action. He doesn't have enough time in the day to deal with the vultures coming at him in the ABL. Yeah. Look at all the deals that he made early on. And the guys are going to be probably hitting him up in the AFL as well, saying, hey, man, are you going for it? Are you dumping? We're interested in this guy, whatever it might be. Poor Cal. He's got a job. I know he's got a regular job. He's 20 years old. He's got a life he wants to live. I don't envy the youth right now.
No. Yeah, that's that's another thing. Welcoming him to the ABL, and he's the first minor. Or no, yes, I guess no minor. He's the first non-legally because he's only 20.
Yeah, however you want to say. Yeah, not of drinking age. If we were all not hanging out in Vegas for winter meetings, Cal would be excluded from the funnest of activities.
Yes. Yes.
maybe Top Golf. He's allowed to go to Top Golf, but yeah, we added him some new young bloods. I did tell Cal that I would like to get him on for the Angels.
Baseball.
Probably when it settles down a little bit, like when his team is a little more solidified, maybe after the first year player draft, but before the auction, maybe talk to him about what he wants to do with the auction, get his views on maybe what he wants to do going forward, like we've done with a couple of the guys. But I didn't want to hit him up yet and be like, hey man, while you're with all these trade offers and we've got the first year player draft coming up and all this other shit, do you want to talk about your team publicly that you just took over? Like, give him a break, let him do his thing a little bit first. Oh, you got anything else, man? Yeah, we're running about.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only other thing I was gonna say, because I was about to cut out two, was no, Mark is not a co-manager of my team. That was just a little for anyone who was worried at any point that might have that there was any truth to that. There is no truth to that. Mark is not associated with my team in any way, shape, or form.
I was being honest in the banter. I was like, I can't tell if this is some kind of new Tony shtick.
Yep.
Like, I wasn't in on it. That was not a thing I was privy to, that you were going to start this thing where you and Mark were co-owners, and where you actually were kind enough to give him 51% ownership of the team, and you leave yourself with 49%. I thought was probably the giveaway that it was not legitimate, but you never know. You never know. You think you know Tony, and then one minute he's cracking a non-alcoholic beer on the podcast. So it's like, what the hell is going on? So
that's true. Got to keep everyone on their toes. Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, maybe he really is. Tony was the olive branch kind of guy with Mark in the first place. Maybe he really did reach out and say, hey, man, do you want to? But Mark has said before also that he doesn't want his name associated in any way with the Armchair Network. So that's kind of as the guy that he reached out to and said, hey, will you take my pod that has, 30 views of the guys in the league? I don't want my name associated with the league anymore, even though I will dip in and tell some of you guys privately, Corbin Burns won the Cy Young. I know I got the PM, and I know Duke got the PM from him about Burnsy winning the Cy Young. So he doesn't want to be completely dissociated with the league.
No.
You hypocrite bastard, you, Mark.
Real quick, the 51%, that was to kind of bait more conversation to be like, oh, so it was Mark that really made all those trades because he had the 51%.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going with the 51% was, if I say 51%, then he had the tie vote to make. It wasn't
my fault. None of it was my fault. You were just the bullet sponge taking all the abuse. You were just the stand-up guy taking the beatings.
But the story died, and that's fine. That's just funny. Like, I just want to he's not associated, nor ever will be associated with my team. So.
I think on that, that's a good spot to end today's pod. That's your playoff snapshot. We do plan on doing a little bit of a recap and look forward, a more typical pod, our usual hour plus extravaganzas. And this was supposed to be a short one, and we still went 40. We just can't. Yeah. We can't help ourselves. We just can't help ourselves.
Yeah.
So even on the short ones, you get 40 minutes that you have to sit through. Tony, have a good rest of the day. Thanks, Jeff, whoever else watches. And we'll see you guys next time.